Never talk to cops. Okay, this is going to be a very, very important coaching video tonight, guys, because we all find ourselves in these situations from time to time, whether we're right or wrong. Okay, there are going to be times in life where you're going to deal with the police, 5-0, right? And let me tell you, right or wrong, you never want to talk to the cops without a lawyer present. And so many of you guys make the mistake of talking to the police, trying to clear your innocence, right? Trying to make them believe that you didn't do anything wrong and to let you go. And let me tell you something, man, cops are not your friend. They are not there to help you. They are not there to help prove your innocence. They are there to convict you, period. Okay, whether they're there to convict you that same day or later on down the line, if this thing goes to trial, for example, their job is to help convict you. Okay, you have to understand what team cops are playing for. They are playing for the team that the prosecutors are playing for, right? They are playing on the DA's team, the district attorney's team. And so many guys out there who, whether, again, I mean, I'm not here to be the moral authority to judge who's right and who's wrong, to judge if you're innocent or guilty. That's not my job, okay? My job is to inform you of your rights and encourage you to exercise your rights, okay? One of the biggest ones that guys who end up getting convicted fail to exercise is their right to remain silent, okay? Remember this, you have the right to remain silent. Whenever a cop pulls you over or he's about to arrest you and he reads you your rights, pay attention, okay? Because by law, he has to inform you of your rights. The problem is a lot of you guys like listen, it goes in one ear and out the other because you're so kind of freaked out that you might get arrested right here and now. You don't know what to do, that you just don't even exercise them, right? It goes in one ear and out the other, like I said. And then you sit there and you start blabbering away, right? You start singing like a canary, like, no, I didn't do it. I was here. I was at my friend's house. Oh, I have this alibi. And oh, yeah, no, it wasn't me. And you start yapping away, thinking you're helping yourself, and you're not, because anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. Ever hear that? Right? That's part of the Miranda rights also that they read you. Anything you do or say will and can be held against you in the court of law. This is why you want to keep your mouth shut. Even if you are completely innocent, you want to keep your mouth shut, because if you ever end up going to court and this thing goes to trial, they will use that shit up. They will use that shit against you. Okay? Even if you are innocent. This is why you never want to talk to cops without a lawyer present. Okay? And if you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you. Oh shit, more from the Miranda rights, right? You have to know your rights, guys. You have to know your rights. Stop being afraid of the cops. Stop being afraid that if you don't talk to them, they might arrest you and all this other stuff. You talk to any attorney on the planet, okay? Any attorney on the planet will tell you, never talk to cops, okay? Just never talk to them. Right? I used to consult a lot of criminal attorneys when I was an advertising consultant for the Fortune 100. And they told me point blank, like over half of their cases would just never go to trial and probably would have gotten dismissed if their dumbass client just kept their mouth shut and didn't say shit and waited to hire an attorney to talk to the police, right? If they just hired an attorney to talk to the cops for them, half of the time, they would have gotten off scot-free, okay? Again, right or wrong. I'm not here to judge that, neither are you. You really never know the specifics of all these cases. I mean, my job here is just to inform you of your rights and encourage you to exercise those rights whenever you find yourself in these situations. And you know what? I found myself in these situations. As a youth, I used to get into a lot of trouble, right? And I used to talk to the cops all the time. I used to be like, no, man, it wasn't me. And, I just want to go home, because they'll try to sell you on that too. It's like, okay, all right, just tell me what happened so you can just go home so we can let you go. That's always bullshit, by the way. If they try to like peruse you or try to tell you that, hey, I'm just trying to gather some information here and don't worry, you're not in any trouble, you're not under arrest. Bullshit, okay? Bullshit. Like I said, what did I tell you? The police are not your friend, okay? They are not your friend. They are not there to help you. If they have pulled you over, if they've got you, you know, in cuffs, you know what? You're under investigation, right? You're a suspect. There's no reason why the cops aren't gonna, you know, come and hassle you if you are not a suspect for something, if they are not trying to pin something on you, okay? And it could be something as simple as a traffic stop, okay? It could be something as simple as a traffic stop. Funny enough, when was this? This is like 4 or 5 years ago. No, actually it was longer than that. It's probably like 7 years ago. I was driving home. I don't remember where I was coming from, but I was passing through San Mateo, and then I got pulled over by this police officer for San Mateo Police. These guys are the worst, by the way. San Mateo Police and Redwood City Police. Usually these policemen that are in the suburbs are the worst. They tail you for every little thing. They pull you over for every dinky little thing. And I think this guy was literally pulling me over for, I believe it was like a license plate bulb or some bullshit like that. It was like a license plate bulb, right? But it was like 5 or 6 at night. It wasn't even that late. And he's like, yeah, you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, he's like, you got a license plate bulb out. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. All of a sudden, he was like, hey, you know what? There was this shooting in Redwood City. And they said the driver was driving a, like a 2-door silver top-down sports car. And I was in my 2-door top-down Mercedes at the time. And I'm like, shooting? I mean, it didn't even cross my mind. I go, what do you mean like a shooting? Like they're filming a movie? And he was like, no, somebody got shot. Like, he starts talking to me serious. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, well, they were driving a 2-door, and the guy was wearing a hoodie, and I happen to have a hoodie on. And I'm like, okay, right? I didn't sit there and try to be like, oh, you know what, that wasn't me because I was here and blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't try to prove myself. I just went, okay. And I sat there, and I let him yap away, and he was like, were you in that area? And I just looked at him. And he was like, sir, did you hear my question? Were you in that area? And I said, you know what? From this point on, I'm not going to talk to you. If you want to talk to me, you need to talk to my lawyer. And I started being serious too. And I said, and FYI, if this is, you know, if you're going to try to play any games, and if you're going to try to, you know, pull me over for a light bulb and then accuse me of shooting somebody, there's going to be some lawsuits involved here. And I've got your badge number, you know. I mean, I was dead serious. I was pissed. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Sure enough, I mean, within like less than 5 minutes, he was like, okay, well, you know, I'm sorry about that. Here are your keys. You're free to go. I was like, are you serious, dude? Literally. And I was like, okay, obviously I didn't get a ticket for the light bulb. He didn't even give me a warning for that. So it was a bullshit stop. I don't know what it was about, but really I just kept my mouth shut, okay? I mean, point being, just don't talk to the cops, guys. Just remember, the burden of proof is on them, okay? Not on you. It's on them to prove that you are guilty, okay? And the more you yap away, the more you talk to them, the more shit you give them to hold against you. Okay, even if you're completely innocent, you tell the perfect story. Okay, they could still use that against you somehow, some way in the court of law. Okay, they can manipulate the shit out of this, right? And you know what? Cops are human. They'll make mistakes on your report on what you said, what you didn't say. They can make mistakes, or they could just flat out lie if they don't like you for whatever reason. They can flat out lie. Okay, and the cops, okay, they have the right to lie to you and manipulate you and bullshit you to get a confession out of you. But you know what? You don't have that right. That's where things are kind of twisted, man. You don't have that right to lie because everything you say and do can and will be held against you in the court of law. Right? And this is why I suggest, by the way, that you have a dash cam. Okay, as you can see here on my Range Rover, I'll try to pin underneath it. I don't know, you can't really see it. But see that blue and red blinking light? Okay, that's a dash cam. It's called a Black View. Okay, this is one of the best on the market, by the way. It's called a Black View. And as you can see on my tail over there, you can see that little blue light? That's the rear camera. Okay, I didn't put it on there in case I get pulled over for cops or anything like that. I just put it on there just to protect myself if I ever get into an accident. Or also it has something called parking mode. So if my car is parked and some wise guy wants to like try to steal my car or steal parts off my car, this thing has GPS. So it can track where my car is at all times. I could just hop on my cell phone if somebody rips it off and I can find out where it is. Also, if somebody steals it, it records, it has motion detect. So it like will literally record anything that happens around my car and shoot me text messages if, you know, somebody bumps into it or anything like that. You know, luckily nothing's ever happened, but it's wise to have a dash cam, okay? And part of having this dash cam, obviously, is if I get pulled over by the police and, you know, I get some crooked cop who wants to pin a shooting on me as San Mateo PD, faggots, I've got protection, okay? I've got proof that they're full of shit, right? Especially if the car is recording everywhere I've been in the last, you know, because I've got a 64, no, wait, it's a 128 gigabyte card. It will record a week's worth of footage, right? And every time I hop in the car, it records. So if any homos from the SMPD want to try to pin up a gang shooting, I think it was like a gang shooting. I'm like, dude, I seriously look like a gangster? I didn't say all that. Obviously, I kept my mouth shut, but I'm like, yeah, dude, prove that I did that, right? Yeah, I've got evidence. I've got proof. So it's really important to have a dash cam, guys. And you should film all of this stuff. And if the cop tries to intimidate you, shut off your cameras, don't do it. Do not do it. Keep it on, because you have the right to film. And a lot of cops have really encouraged more citizens, well, good cops, okay, good cops have encouraged citizens to film when they get pulled over, film when they're interacting with the cops, okay, just to protect themselves. It's bad cops and dirty cops who don't want you filming, really, you know. And I don't want to paint all cops with a, you know, broad brush, because there are a lot of good cops out there, man. And, you know, I have a lot of cops who are followers. You know, I'm with you guys. You guys aren't like that. I'm not talking about you, okay? My best friend from high school growing up that I used to get into a ton of trouble with became SFPD. He actually became a detective also for SFPD, and then later on got promoted to captain of all things. It's crazy because he he was one of my good friends, and we used to get in all sorts of shit together. And at one time, when I was considering dropping out of college, I had signed up for the California Highway Patrol, and I was interested in becoming a CHP officer. Yeah, I didn't go through with that just because I was being told that my first my first area that I would be working would be kind of like up by the mountains by Lake Tahoe. It's like all the way out there by Sacramento, and yeah, I wasn't too down with that. And it would be a graveyard shift and until I had seniority, and yeah, I wasn't really down with that. But anyway, the point of this coaching video, guys, is if you find yourself in a situation where you are interacting with cops, don't talk to them, okay? Unless you call them personally, obviously. If you're reporting somebody and, you know, you're reporting a neighbor or something like that, they're blasting their music or anything like that, different story, duh, right? You have to talk to the cops. You're the one who's calling. So yeah, talk to them in those situations. But if at any point they ask for your driver's license and then they're like, hey, yeah, were you ever here on this date at this time? And, you know, do you have a criminal record, blah, blah, that's when you stop talking, because now they're trying to investigate you, okay? So know the difference, okay? Once they start trying to investigate you, that's when you stay silent and you start exercising your rights. And a lot of times you could just flat out, if you really want to be a dick, you could just be like, officer, am I under arrest? And they're like, no, I'm just trying to get, you know, find out some information. I want to know this. Then you could ask them again, am I under arrest? Because if I'm not, am I free to go? You know, a lot of times if you keep hitting with them with that, they'll just let you go, okay? They'll just let you go, okay? But it's not your job to talk to cops, right? They're not there to help you for any reason. If they pull you aside, pull you over, or engage in conversation with you, it's because you're under investigation, okay? No matter what way they swing it. Again, they're allowed to manipulate you. They're allowed to bullshit you. They're allowed to make you feel like, okay, just tell me this and then we'll let you go. Nope, I don't talk to cops without a lawyer. Say that, okay? I don't talk to cops without an attorney present. Don't even say sorry, just say, you know, I can't talk to you without my lawyer present. Because many times just saying that will end the discussion. Okay, sir, free to go, bye. They'll just be annoyed because they can't get anything out of you. They're looking for easy targets. They're looking for people who don't know their rights, right? So you got to exercise your rights, guys. Right or wrong, right? Exercise your rights. Okay, again, and I don't have anything against cops, right? I really just don't like dirty cops. I don't like cops who are like super anal about their job and just tail you and shit for no reason. I mean, it's really their job to respond to crimes, not to look for crimes. So shit like that really annoys me. Yeah, it really, really annoys me when cops do dumb shit like that. They tail you and it's like, for no reason, you know? Yeah, it's really annoying to me. I remember when I was like in Redwood City, which is a suburb of San Francisco. It's like 30 minutes out. And I don't know, for some reason that area, like San Mateo and Redwood City, the cops are completely anal, right? I'm not gonna say all of them, just most of them are. Whereas like SFPD, where I grew up, San Francisco, I mean, the cops are just so busy. They don't have time to stop you. They're never gonna stop you for a, you know, like a license plate bulb or some dumb shit like that. They just won't. They're just too busy, right? So that's one thing I like about SFPD. But a lot of these other cops, man, they just pull you over for the dumbest shit. Again, when I was in Redwood City, I remember I was trying to take my Mercedes to the dealership because I wanted to get a part. They didn't have it at SF Mercedes. I'm driving my Benz, okay? I just got my Benz at the time. It was a top down. I was coming from work, so I was wearing my, not really a suit, but shirt and tie, right? I mean, I didn't look like a criminal here. I was just coming from work and I was legitimately going to the Mercedes dealership with my freaking Mercedes to buy a part, and the parts department had closed at like 7, I think, and I got there at 7:15. So I went to look and I knocked on the door. Nobody responded. Got back in my car and I'm about to leave. I see a cop watching me. Like, I'm like, dude, what do you think I'm doing? You think I'm gonna try to steal a Benz? I'm here in a Benz. And so I get in my car and I start driving off. The dude tails me for like, I want to say like a good 20 minutes. And then I finally like pulled into a Safeway. And I like went into the Safeway. He follows me in the Safeway. And then finally I just turned around. I go, can I help you? And he was like, yeah, I saw you back at the Mercedes dealership. Was there something going on there? And I'm like, yeah, I was trying to buy parts. Oh, you aware they're closed? And I go, no, I was trying to rush over there to get a part. He's like, for what? And I'm like, for my Mercedes. Did you see my Benz out there? And he was like, okay, well, it looked a little suspicious. I go, what looks suspicious? That a guy with a Mercedes is buying parts for his Mercedes, right? And then I just looked at him, and then I looked at his badge number, and I wrote it down. And he goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm writing down your badge number. And he's like, why? I go, because I'm about to call your boss right now, dude, and I'm about to tell him how you spend your time. And I literally got on the phone. I called his boss, and I told his boss, hey, your officer, this guy, right? I'm not going to mention his name. I still know his name, by the way. I was like, hey, this guy tailed me for 20 minutes from the Mercedes dealership, walked into a Safeway where I was at, and I mean, literally, I told his boss everything, and even his boss was a little surprised. He goes, yeah, that's a little extreme. And he's like, you sure you didn't do anything? I'm like, not other than what I told you. I was just trying to get a part for my Mercedes. I go, you know, God forbid I come out to Redwood City, California to go to the Benz dealership to buy an antenna for my Mercedes, right? And the guy was like, okay, let me talk to him and I'll take care of it. I go, you know what? I want to make sure you talk to him. After you talk to him, can you call me back and let me know what you said and what he said? And I just want to make sure that, you know, he doesn't harass anybody else like this, because that's really not cool. So he hopped on, and I'm assuming he had a good talk with that guy, because he called me back and he said, sir, let me assure you this will never happen again. If it does, here's my phone number, here's my badge number, here's my, you know, gave me all his info. He was like, you just contact me. If anybody from our police department harasses you or does anything like this again, I will be more than happy to take care of it for you. And I'm like, thank you. right? But this is the shit you got to do, guys. When they step out of line, you got to complain. You got to call their bosses, right? No different than if you're at some company and one of the employees is rude to you, right? You hop on, you call the corporate office. You go, hey man, you know what? Is this how you train your employees? Right? Remember, the cops work for you. We don't work for them, right? Anyway, the whole point of this coaching video is to protect yourself, okay? Know your rights, exercise your rights. Whenever you're interacting with the 5-0, with the cops, with the police, keep your mouth shut. Don't say a thing. Okay, don't say a thing. Get a lawyer, okay? Because half of the time, they'll have nothing, okay? Because again, the burden of proof is on them to prove that you're guilty, right? You're innocent until proven guilty. Do not help them out by blabbering away, trying to prove your innocence, okay? It is up to a judge and a jury to decide whether you're guilty or not. It's not up to the cops. Really, all you're doing is helping them, okay? You're just helping them. And again, I have nothing against the cops, all right? I'm not saying all cops are bad, okay? Because I know a lot of good cops, and like I said, one of my best friends from high school is a cop. Got a lot of followers who follow my work that are cops, right? And they're all good guys. They're not like that. So I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just talking about a like specific breed. Right, so that's all I have to say for tonight's coaching video. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. Okay, you'll be the first to be notified about it. Also, share my coaching videos with other like-minded friends of yours, guys. Please share my stuff, because the more we share these coaching videos and this red pill content, the more we can awaken more guys, right? So please feel free to share my content as well. And for you guys who want to support my work and support all of this red pill knowledge I'm teaching guys here even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason why I'm doing that is to protect my content in case YouTube decides to try to just shut me down one day, which, hey, look at what they're doing with all these other channels. You never know, right? At least if you're one of my premium subscribers on my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, you will never have to worry, okay? And the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male content from me. And it's really easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. All right, so all you guys that are cops that follow my channel, be safe out there, protect yourselves. I know you're good guys, right? Be safe. And for everybody else, if you're interacting with cops, don't talk to them, because even cops will tell you that. Funny thing is, if you talk to any cops and you ask them, hey, what do you do when you get pulled over and you're being interrogated by the police? They'll tell you the same thing, that they don't talk to cops. They're not gonna sit there and blabber away. Cops know their rights, and if they were in the situation you're in, guess what? They would keep their mouths shut until they got an attorney, because they know better. So, know your rights.